Good morning and welcome to Cycling Form and Fitness Coach Talk number 5. So today's coaching conversation is about running specifically, and it applies somewhat to, I guess, cycling and swimming. But running is the main topic. So if you never run, never want to run, this probably isn't the coach talk for you. So in the CFF coached triathletes, probably should be a multi-sport athletes. On Facebook here, we had a few posts that were centered around zone 2 heart rate training. And the first one was a video that I came across that was about why some people can't keep their heart rate down, especially in zone 2 on those zone 2 aerobic runs. So good video, younger guy that seems to be really on a good coaching path. Everything he said, I agreed with. So I posted that up to the group and just wanted you to consider that, watch the video. He talks about running gait versus walking gait and how a walking gait that gets sped up can actually be not so economical. So your oxygen cost for a fast walking gait tends to be higher than a slow running gait. And that could be part of the reason why some people struggle to keep their heart rate down in zone 2. It's just that pace gets to be slow enough that they have more of a walking gait than a runner's gait. And I can see that in the stride metrics. It's not just vertical oscillation, but it's partially that. There's another metric that's the vertical ratio, and that's a comparison of your vertical oscillation to your stride length. So anyways, when you look at those numbers for people that tend to be more of a walker's gait, they tend to get less vertical and their stride length is relatively short. And that means that what happens, and you probably have seen it in photos, is a runner like that tends to have one foot on the ground at all times. And that's one of the rules of race walking. You have to have one foot on the ground at all time. So when you get more to a runner's gait, you get some float. So you'll see the faster runners that they'll have nothing touching the ground and they'll have a relatively long float in their stride. And that can actually be very advantageous because when you're not touching the ground, you're not wasting energy, you're not doing heel strikes. If you're landing correctly with that runner's gait, and good things can happen, you get more economical and less heart rate for the same sort of speed, if not even faster. So something to think about. It came up later that there's a second video that I have here, and that was this magic stride hack. I find these videos to be very good from Perry Coaching. Again, they do just running and they tend to do some deep dives on topics that matter. So I share those as I come across good ones. But they had a way of doing drills to get more to the runner's gait and start to move away from a walker's gait. And I think their drills are very good. I think their drills are similar to what I've provided in the past. And I'm going to have that go back into my runners' plans now. At least once a week, we're going to do drills, and they can be done after you get a couple miles in of your run. You can just stop in a place where there's no people, and you can do some drills. They're going to include trying to get your heels up during running and do more butt kick. They're going to include skips, and that's driving your knee up and doing the bounding. And then you're going to go into strides or maybe even zone 5 30-second strides to bring it all together. And what I'm trying to do is give you the ability to turn on our runner's gait and start to practice it. So the way we can do that best is by drills and then bring it into the fastest running that we do, which is 30 seconds zone 5 strides, and then start to back up that runner's gait safely into longer zone 4 intervals, and then maybe zone 3, and hopefully someday zone 2. So again, it's a process. Don't rush it. All good stuff though. So then let me see if I have the right screen here, because there is one more item I want to share in this relatively short coaching talk. So let me make sure I get the right screen. Okay, the other thing I'll do for all my coached athletes is I'll send you out this 3-page article. Again, it kind of goes against my one-pagers, but I'll recap my takeaways at the top of this, and then you can read into the I guess deeper analysis if you would like to. So again, this is a CFF best practice. It's number 19, improving your running speed, endurance, and performance. And I read a book by Peter McGill. He's a running coach, author, and the fastest ever American distance runner over 50 in the 5K and 10K. So a pretty interesting guy to learn how to run from. When you read through all of his details below, the takeaways I have and I use for just about all of my running athletes is right here in steps 1 through 4. So my best practice for most runners preparing for a half marathon PR, and maybe even a marathon PR if they're a little bit on the faster side, is number 1, we got to prep the bones, the muscles, and the tendons by easy zone 2 type running and a lot of zone 2 running along with a little bit of zone 4 hill repeats. And we have to do our strength and mobility training. So that's phase 1. Zone 2, keeping our heart rate under control. Zone 4 hill repeats and strength and mobility training. Once that's set, then we can go with max running strength and speed by short zone 5/6 hill intervals. Those are the 30-second type versus the zone 4, where the ones that are usually 2 minutes. And then once we get that well under control, we'll move also to zone 5 flat intervals. So they can be done on the same week, or we can start to move towards those on their own separate weeks. It kind of matters what I want to do with the zone 5 intervals. First off is learning how to run well in zone 5 and doing those for 1 minute with some rest in between. And then we can get into shorter zone 5 intervals with less rest to really work on our VO2 max. So once we've done that, we got our speed figured out. We've done enough zone 5 work on hills. We've done it on flats. We've done some VO2 max workouts. Then the ceiling is really raised so we can improve our FTP, our zone 3/4. And that's where most of us will fall for races that are a half marathon to a marathon. Some of us, when we're doing 70.3 triathlon, will actually be in upper zone 2 for that run because we're so fatigued. But the faster you get, the more you start to creep in zone 3. Same thing with marathon runners, and half marathon runners can be primarily in low zone 4. So we'll work on that race specific stuff. We'll still maintain the zone 2, and we'll maintain strength and mobility throughout so we avoid injuries. So again, if you do these 1 through 4, you do them very well. It sets everybody up that I've worked with to be relatively low risk for injuries while they actually get faster, but we have to be very careful. So hopefully that all makes sense. I'm trying to keep this video short, sweet, and on point. So you can watch those 2 videos I referenced on the CFF Facebook page if you're a member. If not, you can post something on this video and I can give those links. And then this article, again, by request, I'll give it to anyone. I'm primarily keeping it to my coached athletes for round 1, but I'm willing to give it to anyone that asks for it. So just let me know. And thanks for paying attention and being part of the process. Have a great day.